Farming resources has never been easier because Hammerjam has tremendously increased the amount of loot you can get per attack. Which league is however the best to maximize your loot? In this video I'm going to tell you at which trophy range you should be farming your resources depending on your Townhall level. It is important to know, in this video I'll be mainly talking about which league is best to farm resources, so gold, elixir as well as dark elixir. You will need to sacrifice the amount of ores you will be getting from the star bonus in order to maximize your loot. For ores is generally, the higher the league, the better it is because the more ores you will be getting from the star bonus. But for resources, of course, this is not the case. Since, for example, in Titan 1, you will be getting way less loot than, for example, in Masters League. So let's start off with Townhall 11, which is the first Townhall level where the right league is really beneficial. For Townhall 7 to 10, it doesn't really matter in which league you are. Generally, anything between 1000 and 1800 trophies can completely work out. On Townhall levels below Townhall 7, farming is so incredibly easy. You can rush through those Townhall levels incredibly quickly. Large time requirement, I would say, only starts at Townhall 9. But also on Townhall 9 and 10, you will be able to farm enough loot that it doesn't matter in which league you are. However, on Townhall 11, it's really important to be in the right league to maximize the amount of loot you will be getting. And also, from Townhall 11 onwards, you will be able to unlock super troops. And super troops are very known to make farming incredibly easy. It doesn't matter if you're using super barbarians or sneaky goblin, but sneaky goblins is of course the #1 farming troop. It makes farming so incredibly easy. It makes a huge difference. Depending on which base you find, you can get 3 million resources, 3 million of each resource within 30 seconds if everything is just in collectors on the outside. It makes farming so damn easy. So that's why in Townhall 11 you will need to be in between 1700 trophies and 2100 trophies. So somewhere in between gold 2 as well as crystal 3. Of course, in these lower leagues, your average loot bonus per attack is not going to be a lot. In this trophy range, you are going to get roughly 23,500 loot bonus on average if you get a complete bonus from 70% onwards, so 70% destruction onwards. From 70% destruction, you will get a complete loot bonus, but of course, on this low trophy range, that loot bonus is going to absolutely nothing compared to your 1.5 million, 2 million, 2.5 million, 3 million loot you are going to be farming per attack with those sneaky goblins or those super barbarians. Coming up is Townhall 12. And on Townhall 12, you want to be in between 1900 as well as 2300 trophies. So somewhere in between gold 1 as well as crystal 2. You'll find a lot of inactive bases for Townhall 12 on this trophy range, so a lot of full collectors which you will be able to farm relatively quickly. You can pump out a lot of attacks within a short amount of time because sneaky goblins as well as super barbarians are very fast when it comes to training time, and you will be able to max your walls incredibly fast. And also on this trophy range, your average loot bonus is not going to do much. If you manage to get 70% on an attack, you will get an average of 37,500 loot bonus. So 37,000 gold as well as elixir per attack extra, which is of course not much, but hey, it's for free, so we take it. For Townhall 13, you want to be somewhere in between Crystal 3 to Master 3 League. So somewhere in between 2,200 and 2,600 trophies. This is where you'll find the most inactive bases on Townhall 13 and therefore the most loot. And on average, if you complete 70% destruction, you are going to get an average of 55,000 loot extra per attack. Still not a lot, but on Townhall 14, that's when you're going to really feel a difference per attack if you get that 70% destruction. And that's because on Townhall 14, you are going to farm in between 2,700 as well as 3100 trophies, which is basically Master 3 League up until Master 1. And in the Master Leagues, you are going to get an average of 135,000 extra resources per attack if you get the 70% destruction. And if you calculate that onto 10 attacks, then it's of course 1.3 million extra of each resource. Very nice to have as well. So on top of your, let's say, 1.5 to 2 million golden elixir you will be getting per attack, you will have an extra 135,000 on top. Before we continue, quick reminder, if you're planning on buying any in-game items like for example skins, sceneries, or the gold pass, or perhaps an event pass, then make sure that you are using a creator code. To support this channel, it would be code RHBB. That is of course much appreciated. And also, if you like this type of content, then feel free to let us know by either commenting, liking, or subscribing to this channel. We would really appreciate that. And also, if you want to see more of my content, my Twitch as well as my TikTok are linked above. Feel free to follow me there. But now, let's not waste any more time and continue with the video. And now we get to Townhall 15, where it is very beneficial to be between Master 2 to Champion 3. So somewhere in between 2,900 trophies up to 3,300 trophies. It's very beneficial to be in between that trophy range on Townhall 15, because in this trophy range you are going to find the most inactive Townhall 14, Townhall 15, as well as Townhall 16 bases, where you can gather some really nice resources as a Townhall 15. And as well on this trophy range, the average loot bonus per attack also increases, now up to 165,000 gold and elixir per attack, which is of course very nice. We take those. Of course, it's not much compared to the average loot we will be getting of roughly 2 million per attack. But hey, an extra 165,000 gold and elixir, who doesn't like that? And now we get to Townhall 16, probably the hardest Townhall level to farm because there are just so little inactive bases. Therefore, the trophy range tremendously increases, but also widens on Townhall 16. And on Townhall 16, I can advise you to farm somewhere in between 3,500 trophies as well as 4,100 trophies, so somewhere in between Champion 2 to Titan 3. In that trophy range, you will still need to look a little further in order to find some inactive Townhall 16 bases. The most amount of loot you will probably be finding in the storages and not in the collectors. And also on this trophy range, you are going to get a lot more loot bonus per attack. So it's really worth it to try to get close to 70% or get to 70% destruction. So therefore, it's probably best to go with the Super Barbarian attack strategy and not with the Sneaky Goblins, because Sneaky Goblins, of course, are not that good at destroying a lot of buildings, but only, of course, the necessary buildings where the loot is located, because on average you'll be getting an extra 250,000 of each resource per attack if you manage to get that 70% mark. That's of course settles it down for this video. If you couldn't keep up, I put the list with the trophy ranges of each town level also in the comment section, so you can also take a look there if you couldn't keep up with the video. But with that, you now know at which trophy ranges you should be farming for your town level. I hope you will be able to get a lot of loot and also profit from this year's Hammer Gem as much as possible. See you guys soon with the next video. Until then, take care and bye bye.